When I first started my business, I didn't have any money for tools or a nice van. So instead, I put $1,000 down on a brand new van and bought all my tools on a credit card.
You can grow your business a lot faster than you think, and you don't need all the fancy software or the thousands of dollars to spend on marketing.
If you're actually serious about starting a plumbing business, the first thing you need to do is... What's up, Joel?
What's up, Jared? You were just dude, you were just so confused right there. I don't know what your
Yeah, I was setting up my play.
your play.
Yeah.
Do tell.
You see how I looked confused, so you didn't say, "What's up, Jared?" And I got to throw in, "What's up, Joel?"
Was that really what you were doing?
So I won.
That's a lot of effort for you to like. It's a lot of setup just so that you could be so I could let you win.
You're so full of crap.
I've never been full of crap.
You just have to
know
feel
that.
good about yourself, and then to do that, you have to be like, "Yeah, I let him win." We
See,
both know that I'm just a winner.
Here's the thing. I feel good about myself regardless of how I let you win.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to believe
I think
it.
you lose sleep. You're like, Ayla, I really got to win this one.
Yeah, I actually wake up in the middle of the night like, oh, if Jared greets me first on the podcast, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Yeah, I think that's how it happens.
Yeah.
Dude, we got to get some better chairs.
Jared,
I'm not a...
I know. I told you that about chairs that were very expensive, and you're like, that's insane.
You wanted to spend like 20 grand on chairs.
I wanted to spend like $3,000 on 2 chairs.
This is the thing. I just had a coaching call, and me and you were talking this morning, and I was trying to tell these guys there's a couple things that made me successful, and I couldn't remember the second one. You know what it was?
Buying not expensive chairs?
No, it was that I'm really good at not doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Wait. How does this have to do with the chairs?
$20,000 chairs.
Nobody's buying $20,000 chairs yet.
Or $3,000 chairs, whatever.
$1,500.
Who spends $3,000 on a chair, dude?
Me. Sometimes chairs you just gotta spend, pay for what you get.
No comment.
It's kind of like spending $3,000 on a bed.
No, that's totally different. I spent $4,000 on my mattress.
I know, it's worth it.
It was a good sales guy.
Oh, really?
I appreciate a good salesman.
Yeah, me too. Every salesman I've ever met is a good salesman.
Wow. Not me.
Well, you didn't buy from everybody who tried to sell you something?
No. I was just in Alaska, and I met a guy at the home show, salesman. He was a realtor, but at heart, he was a salesman.
Is that what he told you, or is that what you perceived?
He began to tell me that he really liked the sales aspect of real estate, and he wishes he could just move into just a sales role.
Those are readily available.
I know. I didn't tell him that.
This guy should look on the internet.
I have his phone number. I should text him. He was a cool dude, but because they had like their little real estate booth, there's like 5 or 6 real estate agents hanging out back there. And he was like, he came up with a line of like, man, I wish I could remember what it was, but I walked by, everybody else is just kind of like, doesn't talk to you. And he was like, hey man, do you mind if I, and then
You don't remember the line?
named something like, do you mind if I show you what we're giving away? Or no, they were giving away something.
Yeah.
And he said, hey man, do you mind if I give you this thing?
Yeah.
And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, hey, come talk to me. And I was
Is that
like,
what he said?
Yeah.
Come talk to me?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he was like, what's your name? It's like, Jared. It
He's
was
got
funny.
you. That's it.
He got me at that point. He was
Yeah.
good. He was good at grabbing your attention.
Yeah.
You could tell he liked the sales game.
Yeah.
I don't remember how we got into this.
Because you're talking about buying me a new chair over here.
Oh, yeah. And I bought a $4,000 bed. Bed, worth it.
Chair, double worth it. That's what you were going to say, right?
The day I spend $3,000 on a chair is the day that you know.
You got confused how many zeros were after the price tag.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
I would sit in a $10 wood chair with no cushion before I ever sat
Isn't
in
that
a
what we had
$3,000
before you
chair.
had these chairs? What did we have before you had these chairs?
We had like kitchen chairs.
Yeah,
like dining
yeah, we
room
did.
table
Yeah, we
chairs.
did have dining room table chairs.
Well, it's
That's
funny.
right.
When I first moved to Florida, I had a wood. I still have the chair. I think it's in my daughter's room. But I had a wood chair.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was like a plywood chair. It was rad.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, man. Okay, what are we getting into today?
I don't remember. What is it?
Go on.
How to start your plumbing business with less than $1,000.
Yeah, we're going to talk about credit, right?
Credit. How to go in debt.
Yeah, bro.
Just kidding. No, we're going to talk about how to start your plumbing business with less than $1,000K. Sounds good.
Yeah. What's one of the hardest things about starting your plumbing business when you don't have any money? Like, what are, like, okay.
I'm going to totally blow your brains right now.
Oh, boy.
It's actually the hardest part about starting a plumbing business has nothing to do with the money.
What are you talking about?
So most people think, oh, I don't have any money. I'm not going to be able to start a plumbing business. And they think like, oh, I'm going to have to get trucks. And the reason I know this is because this is how I thought. I was like, okay, well, if I want 4 trucks running around, there's, $200,000.
Oh, sure. And that's like when you're doing your like kitchen table calculations on what it takes to start a business, you're like adding all that up.
Yeah. And I got to get, tools in there, and I'm going to have to like spend some money on marketing, and I'm going to have payroll that I have to pay. And for some reason, I always thought of it with like 4 trucks. And I'm like, okay, so I need like $1 million to start.
Yeah, and why were you thinking
So I'd be
that
like,
you
okay,
needed
I'm
like 4 trucks?
going to get a business plan. I'm going to go get a small business loan, and I'm going to start this plumbing business.
Is that really what you thought?
Yeah, I even talked to your brother-in-law because he went to college for a business degree.
My brother-in-law?
Mike Topping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And I was like, dude, Mike, I want to grow this thing because I was a 1-truck chuck at the time.
This is when you were J-Rods?
Yeah.
Way back in the day? Like second time starting?
This is right before I exploded Prospector.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so this is in that iteration of your journey.
Yep. And I remember he was like, why don't you grow this thing? I was like, yeah, I want to. I just don't have the funds to like get it going. And he was like, well, go get a business loan. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. He's like, hey, you just got to put together a business plan. I went to college for that. I was like, will you help me write a business plan? And he was like, sure.
He's probably like, I went to college a long time ago.
No, it was more like, no, I don't want to help you, but I don't want to tell you no.
Yeah. Well, let's do that sometime.
Yeah, I never took him up on his offer because I
Right,
could
for the
hear it
best.
in his voice
Yeah,
that he didn't want to do that.
He was thinking about his weekends, and he's like, do I want to hang out with Jared for a weekend? I could go out into the woods.
Yeah. And so I remember going online and being like, okay, how do you put together a business plan? And I was like, well, this is really confusing.
What was confusing about it?
I don't just like all the lingo and
Sure, all the business language.
all the stuff
like,
you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And I'm super glad I didn't
Sure.
because that would have been a total waste.
Like if you would have done a business plan and then gotten a SBA loan and then bought a bunch of vans.
Yep. Turns out I didn't need any of that.
Okay, but like, because what if you're, okay, let's say I just left my job because I hated it there. And I'm like, I'm going to start up for myself.
Yeah.
Like, what is my biggest concern right now? Like, I would think, like, I just don't have an income.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I actually going to make money with this thing?
The hardest thing for you is you're going to have to spend money to make money.
Yeah, but you just said I didn't have to have any money to start this thing.
Well, okay. You can. You can do what I did. Like so it's not going to be spend money. The hardest part is going to be you're going to have to get work somehow.
Sure.
Right?
Right.
And then once you have the work, then you need to be able to go do the work.
Well, yeah, sure.
And then once you do the work, you need to be charging enough to be profitable.
Yeah.
So this is where like the breakdown happens.
Actually,
well,
yeah.
really, there's like the 2 most common breakdowns. People don't know how to get work, and they don't know how to be profitable on the work they're on, which then leads them to being even worse at getting more work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and also there's the decision of like, do I want to do residential service or am I just going to take the jobs that I get? Or
Residential service, commercial service, residential new construction, commercial new construction, remodel jobs. What am I going to do?
Yeah. And then sometimes guys can get sucked into like, well, I work with a lot of property management companies or realtors.
Yeah.
And that like at the beginning, I guess that can be okay quotations, but it will keep you trapped because you won't be able to charge those companies enough.
Yep.
To like get to the quote unquote next level.
Yep. The problem with any sort of new construction is margins are super low and you have to put up money to do the job.
Yeah.
So
sure, yeah.
You're typically buying all the parts and putting in a bunch of work before you ever get paid.
Yeah.
And that's tough on cash flow. So it'll be a continual cash flow battle.
And is it harder to bid those jobs accurately?
No, you can get to the point where you can bid them really well.
Yeah.
But it's just if your margins on them aren't super small, somebody's going to outbid you.
Sure.
And in the world of new construction, it's all about cheapest price.
Yeah.
Like they care less about quality or experience than they do cheapest price. Like a general contractor or even a homeowner.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
When they're looking at two different bids, yes, they're thinking about which one seemed more professional.
Sure.
Which one do I think is going to do a better job? They're thinking about that. But at the end of the day, like the biggest deciding factor is price.
Yeah, because they're going to say...
Because they're on a set budget to build this house.
Yeah, true.
And I've built a house before. And I had 190,000. And when you start getting like, you're halfway through your house or 3/4 of the way through your house, and the majority of your money is gone, you start pinching those pennies. Like it's a concern. You're like, I know I only have this much. I have to finish this house with this. So I need to keep my costs down.
Yeah.
That's why I bought $10,000 windows instead of $20,000 windows. And I regretted it ever since.
Good thing you don't have that house anymore.
Good thing I sold the house.
Whew. Dodged a bullet there.
Could have been way cooler with there's a difference between vinyl and fiberglass windows.
Oh, yeah. Vinyl. I remember going to the store where they sold the vinyl windows.
Yeah.
And like the guy's like, sit on this. And he has like the frame between like two sawhorses. And he's like, sit on that sucker. That thing don't move. And he's like, the whole process about this is going to be really good. You're not going to lose any air, blah, blah, blah.
The vinyl ones were cheaper.
The vinyl ones were cheaper?
The fiberglass ones were more expensive. But I really wanted black window frames. And you can't do that in vinyl.
Sure.
Because the sun hits the vinyl and it expands too much.
Yeah, gotcha.
You have problems. So I went with vinyl. I wish I went with fiberglass. Yeah. Would have been rad.
Man, if you could have went back and changed anything, that'd probably be it.
Yeah, I'd change a few things. But they probably don't want to hear about that on this podcast. They don't want to hear what I would change on my last house. Let me tell you something.
Oh, let me tell you, I'd want to make the roof. I'll do this.
Let me tell you a story about a house I built one time back about 45 years ago.
Yeah. It was a really cool tiny house and blah, blah, blah. And,
I made good money on that house.
You did.
Yeah.
You bought it.
I lucked out.
Yeah, you built it for relatively cheap because you did like the plumbing and stuff yourself.
Yep.
And we like did some menial labor and stuff. And
I bought the land and built the house for $190,000.
Yeah, and then what'd you sell it for?
$273.
Yeah,
I think. I walked away with $100,000 when I sold it.
Nice.
In my pocket.
Nice.
But I spent like 40 of my own money building the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, even after paying all the realtor fees and everything, I still
pretty good.
Made pretty good money.
Yeah. Dang, you a house flipper.
Yeah, no, because I bought another house and I remodeled it and went to go sell it, and I would be down like $60,000.
Yeah, if you were to sell that thing.
Yeah.
So that's because the market's just the other way on that one, right?
So I ended up renting it out, which is fine.
Yeah.
You get $1,900 a month from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting this sucker with no money.
We are starting a plumbing business with $1,000.
Me and my business partner, right?
You and your business partner. First step 1, murder the business partner.
Okay, hide the body.
Hide the body.
Okay, get his life insurance from his wife. Okay, no, this is good, man. I like this.
Preferably like burn him in your fireplace or something like that. I don't know. Burn the evidence. I don't know if that works.
Jared Williams goes dark. How he really made his money. No, but I mean, like,
take him out on a fishing trip and just kind of tie a weight to his leg on accident, push him over.
Make him look at something off in the distance for a long time so you can get the knot right. And no, keep looking. There's an eagle. I swear, there's an eagle.
Keep looking.
It's a really good eagle. Like, I just gotta. How do you tie a good knot? Struggling down here.
Hey, can you help me tie this rope around your ankle?
Can you help me lift this 100-pound weight? I mean, my back hurts from the last murder, and like, just gotta.
Oh boy.
But I mean. We joke,
but seriously, this is what people do, and it can work out. I'm not going to say it's never going to work out.
Having a business partner, right?
But it's freaking hard when you just started a business and you only have $1,000 and you have 2 mouths to feed.
Dude, I would say
that's tough.
Yes. And I think this is, in my experience, this is the common story. Me and my buddy, we work for the same company.
Yep.
Me and my buddy are going to go start our own business because we think we can make way more money because we're selling tons of money for this guy.
Yep.
And we like each other, and we talk about it all the time, and we're going to go do this thing.
Yep.
And that's like scenario A I hear a lot.
Yep.
And then scenario B is kind of like, it's worse because there's family dynamics. And where it's like me and my couple of brothers, we're going to start a company.
Well, even outside of doing business with your family, your business partner, there's family dynamics that play into that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure.
Like,
of course.
Like one guy has no kids and a girlfriend, the other guy has a wife and 3 kids.
Yeah. Way different needs.
This ain't going to work out.
Different life.
I promise you. Mm-hmm. It ain't going to work. More times than not, it doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. And then what happens when it does work out, it works out for a time. And then the 2 partners, when the business gets to a certain point, they hold back the growth.
Yeah.
They can't, and it gets awkward too at some point. Like we know you're going to start a business at some point in time. One of the guys is going to have to pull out of the field and start making, general manager / business owner decisions.
Yep.
The other guy's going to have to stay in the field.
Yeah. You can't both pull out at the same time.
Mm-mm. And then eventually somebody is going to have to act as the owner and make ownership decisions. And the other guy is going to have to move into the general manager role.
Yep.
Or vice versa, right? So that's weird.
Yeah. So realistically, because it's like the reason why you're starting a business is usually because you think you can make more money and have more time.
Yep.
And this will work for you. But when you bring in a business partner, one of you is going to have to wait to realize that future longer. And the chances of you actually realizing that future is smaller because you have to like make it all the way there.
Yeah. And you have somebody else that you have to run all your decisions through.
Yeah.
And you guys have to agree on everything.
Yeah.
Which is not very likely.
No.
Like, what color are the trucks?
Yeah, or like, what about this brand? Or what about this brand? Or like, hey, even this. Hey, man, can you show up to this meeting with this this marketing company on this day? No, dude, I'm busy. What about tomorrow? Well, I'm busy tomorrow. And then suddenly you don't have a marketing company for like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Because you couldn't schedule a time.
Yes. It makes everything harder.
Yes.
If you're going to do that, you should split up roles and define clearly.
Yeah.
And think about it ahead of time as much as you can.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing is, like, if you have a business partner, like if I had a business partner right now and my business was doing what it's doing now, my partner would get half the money.
Sure.
The risk involved in what I have now is not worth half the money.
Yeah, sure.
I promise you that.
Yeah.
It is absolutely not worth it. This business would have to be 4 times the size for it to be worth it, right? Yeah. Because and it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I would make enough to live, and the business would make a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Is how it would work out. And it's just why do by yourself.
Yeah.
Way better. Now, I will say, if you're sitting on cash, if this isn't your only source of income, and your business partner brings something to the table that you don't have, that you're going to need to grow this business, good partnership.
Sure.
That makes sense. If both people aren't relying on the business for an income.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've even talked to people, like guys where they're still working at a company and I've talked to them just recently. There's 3 owners, well, 3 potential owners, right? And they were still all working for the same company. And I advised them, I was like, okay, well, if you really want this to go, like one of you guys starts it and just one truck chucks it until that guy needs to hire somebody. And then you hire next brother or whomever. And then now but this is after you hire a CSR. This is after you get marketing. Like this isn't like, oh, next week I'm going to hire you. And the temptation is always going to be, which is what these guys were falling into is, dude, we landed a big job. So we can all get hired and go do the big job. But now what's going to happen is y'all are just going to be doing the exact same thing you were doing at the company before, probably making less because you don't really know what you're doing. Like you just exchange that work environment and that owner for now this own work environment and probably harder work, longer hours.
Yep.
Way less payoff.
Yep. 100%.
So it's like, it's a really hard road to walk that you really need to prepare everybody's expectations if you really want to do it.
Yep. You all need to be all in.
Yeah.
And then make good decisions. Like like I said, one of my best things is I just didn't do stupid stuff. Well, guess what your business partners are going to want to do?
Stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Well, now you have two people potentially wanting to do stupid stuff.
And they're going to think the smart stuff you want to do is stupid stuff.
Oh, yeah. I hear that a lot too. Well, so-and-so doesn't want to do this. And so-and-so wants to only do new construction because he loves it. Or so-and-so, you know. And so-and-so doesn't want to change things because it benefits so-and-so really, really well.
Yep.
Like if one of the business partners is really, really good at sales and you need to adjust the commission structure because you're not making money, that business partner's going to be like, no way. I love our commission structure.
Yeah.
Because I make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or your business partner would be scared to do stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and I know this firsthand because I had a business partner and it didn't work out very well. Not because he wasn't a cool guy.
Right.
Not because he didn't work hard. It was just we had different lives outside of work. He wanted to work way more than I wanted to work. And he wanted to go towards commercial and I wanted to go towards residential. And it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
We were better off going our own ways.
Yeah.
I made out way better going my own way than working all the time and doing commercial work. Screw that.
Okay, so like when you're starting this business, what is like the bare minimum barrier to entry that you need to get this sucker going?
Okay. Kill your business partner. Check.
Got it. Yeah, dumped him in the river, helped you tie a really good knot. Collect his life insurance.
So, I mean, minimum barrier to entry. So, obviously, you need to get your licensing, right?
Okay. Question already. So, I run into this where guys are like, well, I don't have a master's license, but I know somebody who does. Like, what do you think about that?
That's state by state.
Yeah,
that
sure.
Depends on the state. So you just got to go look up your state rules.
Yeah, but
if you don't have the if you can't get the proper licensing, then I would say put in the time to get the proper licensing.
What if it's like 7 years or something crazy?
Just wait 7 years.
But I want a business now.
Be patient. Good things, cool things take time.
True.
And you're going to learn a lot in that 7 years.
True. Especially if you're already thinking business stuff.
Yes. Yep. Think long term.
Okay.
Not short term.
So proper licensing.
Okay. On that though, you can go rent a license.
Yeah.
Like there are guys who do that.
Sure. Seems risky to me because it's not tied to you. So like what if you get like a business going and then like in my mind, this is what I run through. Like, okay, well if you have a business going, but then suddenly you don't have access to that license.
Right.
Now suddenly you're screwed.
Right.
So it's like in my mind, it's a temporary thing because eventually you'd want to get the qualifications yourself.
I would go rent multiple licensing. I would get 2 people's licenses.
Yeah.
That way, if one split, I got a backup and then time to go find another backup.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. So, okay, sounds complex, sounds hard. Sounds like best way to just get the license yourself.
Yeah, I mean, so like in Alaska, it's a 5-year apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And then it's 4 years as a journeyman. And then you can take your test and then you can get your licensing. So in that instance, I would say go through an apprenticeship, work as a journeyman, take your test, get your license, and then start your company.
Gotcha. Okay. So you get all the proper licensing.
And learn everything you can from now until then.
True. Yeah, like if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're in that position, like take the time to like hone your business skills and your business sense.
Yeah.
And then even when you're working for somebody, like you can, like when you're
that'll make you a better employee.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because you'll have a bigger vision. You won't like expect crazy stuff from your employer that might be impossible.
Yeah. Well, if everybody understood exactly what goes into the business side of things, like if you learned like all the marketing and what it costs and how those costs affect different parts of the business, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like if all my guys understood, hey, when I do this thing out in the field, it has this effect on the business. And then that has this effect on myself for these reasons. So we should be doing the opposite of that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
If there was an understanding of that. That's tough to come by.
Yeah.
That'd be hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be cool.
But you could be, in this example, while you're getting your license, you could be that employee.
Yeah, totally.
And that'd be very valuable.
Yeah, it'd be super valuable. 100%. And like, honestly, like if I had a guy working for me and he was like, hey man, I want to start my own business, but I don't know where to start. I know I got 4 years left. Can you teach me? I'd say, heck yeah. Of course I can. I'll tell you everything I know. I'm an open book.
Yeah, but aren't you afraid he's going to start up a business and like take all your business?
Go for it.
Well, Jared, what if he does that though?
There's plenty to go around. Plenty.
Maybe. Call volume slow.
I'll just get better at what we do. I welcome the competition. I think it's good. I think it's good. Get more people raising the bar on service.
Sure.
Raising the bar on price is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got our license.
We got our license. We killed our partner.
I like how we keep
this is
going
to be
to
a recurring thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a recurring
throughout
thing.
this whole video.
Good. Maybe for the rest of the podcast, you know?
The rest of the podcast.
Wealthy plumber with a sprinkle of murder.
We're going to make a movie, How to Start a Plumbing Business. The first hour and a half is going to be us murdering our business partner. The next 20 minutes will be...
It's like a part 1, 2, 3 kind of thing, you know?
20 minutes of actually starting a plumbing business.
Yeah, you know, insurance frauds in there, you know? Like, there's a bunch of crazy stuff. People are going to be like, is this how you actually start a business? Like, yeah, how did you think? It's like the easiest way to do it, man.
Okay, so licensing, and then you need what's called MVP, or minimum viable product, right? So no matter what business you're selling, you have to have the thing that you're selling,
Sure,
right?
of course.
At its minimum capacity. So if I started a coffee cup company, I would have to have some coffee cups to sell.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Or when I get an order for coffee cups, I'm not going to be able to fulfill.
Right.
So with your plumbing company, it's the same thing. I will say, in the coffee cup example, you could sell them without having them.
You could.
And then be like, oh crap, I need 100 coffee mugs.
I better go make some coffee mugs really quick.
Or you can just cancel all the orders, and because you're just testing, right? Just a thought. I like business. I think that's fun to think about. In the plumbing world, if you get an order, you're not just going to want to cancel it because you're going to get 1-star reviews for that.
Yeah, that would not go over well.
I booked a job with this guy, and then
he never
paid
showed.
him a bunch of money, and then he never showed.
Yeah.
1 star.
Yeah. He asked me to pay him so he could go buy tools for the job. Very strange.
Yeah. You're not going to do that. The way you're going to test the market is you're going to get your minimum viable product. So you're going to have a way to take a phone call.
Sure.
So you need a phone
number
and a phone number. You can use your personal cell number. You can set up probably the best thing would be to set up a business phone number. You can go on, what are those? There's Grasshopper, there's Ring Central, we use Mango Voice still to this day. It's a voice over internet protocol. It's basically a internet phone. And you can get an app on your phone. And you can set your business hours and voicemails and all that stuff for your business. Help you keep your business and your personal life a little separate.
Yeah.
So you need a way to take phone calls. And then you need to set up your voicemail, your business voicemail. And don't just make it like, hey, this is John, leave me a message. Or, hey, you reached Jared, leave me a message. Make it say, hey, thank you for calling my company name. Our business hours are this time between this time. If you've reached us outside of business hours, leave us a message and we'll get right back to you. You probably want to say outside of business hours. If we didn't answer our phone, leave us a message. We'll get right back to you.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then make sure and call everybody back.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
If you just answer your phone, you're like 10 steps ahead of most plumbers.
Yes. Okay.
It's not that hard.
Also, what you're going to notice is when you like register for your business and you get your GMB profile up, which we'll talk about, you're going to get like tons of spam calls. I would say just answer them and then hang up if they're not a customer.
Yeah.
But don't not answer.
No.
Like, you get a million spam calls. Okay.
Don't
answer
look at your phone
anyway.
and be like, it might be spam. I'm not going to answer it and just miss out on a customer phone call.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Just answer it and be like, oh, this isn't what I'm looking for. Okay, let's go back to whatever.
Yeah. I like to answer those and just play funny with them.
Yeah. See what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My daughter used to answer the or maybe it was my son. It was either my daughter or my son. They would answer the telemarketer calls. Just funny because we don't really get telemarketer calls.
No,
Is
we
that
just get
still a
robocalls. No, I mean,
I get
no,
calls
I usually
from
get
real people selling real products. Is that still a telemarketer?
Is that what you get?
Telephone marketer. I guess it would be,
Yeah, it's a
wouldn't it?
telemarketer.
Yeah,
You'd call it the same
weird.
thing. I don't really get a whole lot of real people calling me. It's mostly like robots now.
So now I call it a setter.
Yeah, because you know the
I'm like, this
language.
guy's
Yeah,
a
you know
setter.
what the game is.
Yeah, so they used to answer, and my son would go, he would say, hello, and they'd say, hey, is your dad home, or is this so-and-so? And he goes, my name is Steve, I like pizza. And he would just say it over and over again.
Poor guy.
From multiplicity.
Poor guy.
It was good. So you can always do that. Have a good time.
Yeah, have a good time.
Yeah. So you got your phone. You need a way to, when you get a phone call, you need to have a way to schedule people.
Sure.
So people are going to call you and they're going to want to know when you're going to be to their house. And you want to tell them a time when you're going to be to their house. What we used to do, what I did in my first business, we would answer the phone. We'd be like, well, we're busy right now. We'll probably have some time in a couple days. I'll call you then. And they'd say, okay. And then 2 days later,
would you like write a note down, like call so-and-so back and
yeah,
when I can or something?
We had a whiteboard. Had a whiteboard in our, this is when I went back to work for the company that I first started. So I started a company called J&J Mechanical. It was me, Jared, and Jason, the other J. And I quit because it didn't work out.
Right.
I wanted two different things. Well, I ended up going to work for him. And we were doing, we had a couple commercial jobs. And then in between commercial jobs, we would fill that in with residential service.
Sure. Yep.
I guarantee you he didn't make any money on any residential service.
Right.
So we had a shop and we would write the residential service jobs on a whiteboard. And it was just the name and the phone number. And we just wrote them in the order that they called.
Yeah.
And so we were working on a weed grow at the time. And we'd get like all caught up on the weed grow. We'd have a couple slow days. We'd come into the shop. And Jason would open up his phone and dial the customer and be like, hey, yeah, I talked to you a couple days ago. We got some time today. Do you want to get your plumbing taken care of? Okay, yeah. What was your problem again? Where do you live? All this stuff, right? Not very professional.
Yeah.
Most of the people just found another plumber anyways.
Yeah, it's been a couple days. Their thing has probably needed more attention right then when they called.
Correct. So, and just terrible customer service.
Yeah.
Like horrendous.
Yeah.
Beyond horrendous.
Yeah. It's almost like you had a list of cold calls that you were making. Like, hey, stranger.
Yeah.
What you got going on?
Yeah. So instead, what you want to do is, number one, you want to commit to doing residential service.
Yes.
And even if you're doing new construction, schedule in your residential service and just let them take priority over everything else.
Over your new construction?
Over your new construction.
Won't that like
Piss off,
piss off your GC or whatever?
Yeah, let them get pissed off. It's fine. You got to do what you got to do, right? So get a notebook. In your notebook, write down Monday, and then flip the page and write down Tuesday, and then flip the page and write the date.
Like a spiral bound notebook?
Yep. Write the date. So one page is a day.
Yep.
Fill out for a whole month.
Sure.
And then write time slots. So at the top of the page, write like 8 to 10, and then 10 to noon, and then noon to 2, and 2 to 4. And then when somebody calls, you open up your notebook and you say, oh yeah, I got an opening on March 29th between 2 and 4. Does that sound good to you?
What if you just use like a Google Calendar?
I think it would get too hard.
Really? Like even on your phone?
It'd get too messy.
Because you wouldn't have the time slots like predetermined.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of could.
Most plumbers are not good at technology.
I know.
Right? I mean, you could, if you were comfortable using your Google Calendar and making sure it was all set up. Yes, you could. I would not.
Yeah.
I would do it on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Because it's just super simple.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the customer's name, email, phone number, and you're going to write down what their problem was. That's it. And then you're going to tell them I'll show up between this time and this time, and I'll text you before I'm on my way. the day before, at the end of the day, every single day, text all of your appointments and let them know you're going to be there tomorrow and remind them of their appointment time.
Yeah. Okay.
So text your 8 to 10 say just, hey, just quick friendly reminder from so-and-so, your appointment is scheduled between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. tomorrow. If you need to make any changes, please call this number. Dunzo.
Yeah.
Do that for all 4 appointments. You will be, now you're 20 steps ahead.
Yeah, just that right there.
Just that right there.
Yeah.
You're 20 steps ahead of.
Even just texting the day before.
Correct. So, and ideally, you would be scheduling in people that day. But sometimes you schedule out ahead, right?
Yep.
Okay. It's good coffee.
Yeah, I know.
But it cooled off really fast.
Yeah. Well, because it's like 43 degrees in here.
Whatever. So you're 20 steps ahead. You're booking jobs. You killed your business partner. You're answering your phone.
Forgot about that.
The next thing you're going to need to do, we didn't talk about MVP. We got to finish our MVP.
Yeah.
You can schedule jobs now. Now you need a way
sure. Yep. Gotcha.
Now you need a way to get to the job. So what are you going to drive to the job?
Probably going to get a horse. Get a
horse,
buggy.
A buggy.
It's kind of a unique brand.
A car.
I'm the plumber with the horse.
SUV.
You're going to call me because I get a horse.
My recommendation is you just bite the bullet, look professional, and go get a new van.
Yeah.
Most people can qualify.
But I save money if I get a used van.
You do, and I'm not totally against that.
Sure.
If you got to go buy a used van, as long as it looks really nice.
Sure.
Like, don't get a old Chevy Express that's all beat up and nasty looking. Don't get anything beat up or nasty looking. Don't get an old Chevy Express.
Yeah.
Get the tallest, longest, biggest vehicle you can find because it's going to be easier to work out of and it's going to make the best billboard.
Yeah, true.
So if you're going to go for it, if you're going to go buy a vehicle and get a vehicle payment, get something nice.
Yeah. I
would rather buy it new because typically the dealers can get you number one, they'll work with you on your financing until you get it.
Right.
Like buying a used cargo van can be difficult.
Yeah.
Unless you buy it cash.
Right.
Because lenders don't want to lend you for a commercial vehicle that's used.
Right.
A new one, the dealer is like, I got to get this guy financed because I want to sell this vehicle because I want to make my commission on it.
Yeah, because this is an expensive vehicle and this is a motivated buyer.
Correct. So, and typically you can go put $1,000 down and get a new vehicle.
Yeah.
And bada bam.
Yeah.
Even if you got to build some shelves in it, like go to Home Depot and buy $200 worth of plywood and build some shelves, fine. Do that. Buy some 2x4s and some plywood and make some shelves and get rocking and rolling. So now we killed our business partner. We got a phone number.
Dumped
we got a phone.
Yep.
We're scheduling. We got a way to drive to the jobs. Now we just need the minimum tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't even worry about parts. Just get tools.
Gotcha. Now,
forget the parts.
Should you be investing in like specialty tools like drain equipment and jetters and crazy stuff?
You can go rent it in the beginning. And then as soon as you can afford to, I would go buy that stuff.
Sure.
But I would just rent it in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Gotcha.
I'd go to a rental company and rent a jetter or rent a snake or whatever. And I would just tell the homeowner I got to go grab my snake and I'd come back with my rental and do my thing.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And then as soon as you got enough cash, just buy one. Yeah, for sure.
What about like inventory and stock on your truck?
I wouldn't do that until I had more cash.
Okay, gotcha.
And
just buy as needed when you
buy as needed. Same thing. You're gonna go to the customer's house. You're gonna look at what you need. You're probably gonna buy a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Because you don't have anything in your van, and you're gonna come back and do the job. Yeah.
How important is it to be like in this? Like, how is it important to be like presentable?
Super important. Extremely important. If you're dirty and got holes in your clothes and your hair's unkempt,
sticks in your beard, A little bit of the rope left over from when you murdered your business partner.
A little bit of the rope left over.
Your beard.
Some blood stains.
Yeah.
And you show up to somebody's house. They're judging you by the way you look, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
If you like the solar guys come to my house all the time.
Yeah, sure. Especially if you
they got nice hats.
Yep.
Their beards are cut and brushed. Hair's cut. They got a nice polo on.
They look friendly.
They look friendly. They look presentable, right? That's what you want.
Yeah.
Like, I think some people take this too far, and they've got like the top to bottom completely like starched and pressed uniform that's doesn't have a lick of dirt on it anywhere. To me, that seems like a sales guy.
Sure.
And I think customers expect a worker to come into their home, not a sales guy with clean hands, soft, clean hands. They're going to be like, this guy ain't fixing nothing.
Yeah. What's this guy going to do for me?
What's he doing? Trying to sell me something?
Yeah.
So I think like if you can put a nice polo on and a clean hat, preferably with your logo on it.
Sure.
But if you can't starting out, don't worry about it. Just get like the same color.
Yeah.
Right. And cut and brush your beard, cut your hair, wear clean pants. Tennis shoes are fine.
Yeah.
There you go. Done. Easy. Just be clean.
What about like, so we have our MVP, right?
We have our MVP. We've got the tools
we
need
work.
to do the work. We can show up. We can quote the customer on their notepad. We have the tools to be able to do the work. We're going to go get the parts. Probably the last thing you need is a way to bill the customer.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of apps that'll do it. I would just download QuickBooks. Like you're going to need QuickBooks anyways to give to your bookkeeper so she can do your books. Second you start making any money, just go hire a bookkeeper.
Like right away?
Like right away.
Should you hire like internet bookkeepers, local bookkeepers?
Whatever. I prefer local, somebody that I could call on the phone if I had questions. But I would want to pay them by the hour at this point because they're probably going to be like $50 an hour and they're going to work on your books for like an hour.
Right.
A month.
Because you probably won't have a lot going on.
You won't have hardly anything going on.
Yeah.
So super effective to do in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just get a bookkeeper.
But you need somebody to keep track of that stuff.
Yeah. Just call somebody. Hey, I just started a company. I need a bookkeeper. Cool. Done.
If you get a bookkeeper, you're probably already like 50% ahead of most people.
Holy cannoli. Heck yeah. So.
And also a bookkeeper, not a CPA. Like.
Correct.
Like a CPA is CPA. A bookkeeper is a bookkeeper.
Some CPA firms will do your bookkeeping, which is okay, but it's probably going to cost you more. And then they're typically, in my experience, they're a little bit more of a pain in the butt because they know all the tax rules and they like to follow rules and they like to cross T's and dot I's because that's their job. And that's not always beneficial for your business all the way. So I like bookkeepers better because they're just trying to keep your books clean.
Yeah, they have a very simple job.
Yeah.
And they keep it as, like the good ones will keep it as simple as possible so that they can take on as many clients as possible. It's their business model.
Correct, Mundo. Okay. So in that case, I would download the QuickBooks app and you can enter in customer data. Then you can build invoices and then you can take payments all in QuickBooks for like, back in the day, it was like $40 a month. Might be more than that now, but still very, very minimal fees. And then you can take credit cards. Done. Nobody wants to pay you in cash or check.
No, gosh, no, they do not.
Or Apple Pay.
I would love to pay an Apple Pay. Bing.
Why not just with your credit card? This is what I don't understand. What's the difference? Well, do you not carry your credit card with you?
The difference is like if you're buying something online, because then I don't have to have my credit card to put in the numbers. I can just hit Apple Pay and pay.
On your phone.
Yeah. And a physical thing, I don't care. Like it doesn't, I'm not going to use like.
Because you buy stuff on your phone.
Yeah.
Weird.
Or even like on the computer. But now I mostly buy stuff on my phone.
You're so weird.
I think you're
I'm
weird.
probably the weird one.
Yeah, you're probably the weird one to like go to your
I use my phone to call and text.
Yeah. That's probably why I can get so much done.
Or I just got you tricked.
Yeah, you just got, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So now you're set. Now you just need customers.
Yeah.
That's it. Now you just need a job.
Yep.
Piece of cake. Dude, I've done a lot of talking today.
Yep.
Okay. So work is hard, dude.
Yeah. Work can be hard.
Where are we at? You killed your business partner.
Yeah, let's go back to that part. You know, we bought a horse and a buggy. Yeah, that was cool. Branded the horse.
Okay. I feel like at this point, like, we're going to talk about how to start your business with $1,000, but if you're not priced right, you're going to lose. You're going to go get a job and you're going to lose your butt.
Yeah, you might not even know it.
No, you might not even know it. And also, people are going to say, "Hey, you said $1,000, and we already spent it on a van down payment. How are we going to buy tools?"
Yeah,
go get a credit card. Buy the tools on your credit card. Like,
but credit cards are bad.
No, they're not. They're really good. The chance, like, get one where you don't no interest for. I think you can get no interest for like a year.
Yeah.
Right. So that means you don't have to pay it off for a year. You can get enough tools to get going for 10 grand or less. So now you have a year to make 10 grand back. I'll take that bet every day.
Also, like, if we segue back to the guy who has to get licensed and he's got to work for like 7 or 9 years.
Yeah.
If you're that guy right now, start building your credit right now.
Yeah. Start building your credit. Start maximizing your available credit.
Yes. So that when you get to the point when you can start your business, you have a couple credit cards with available balances of like 30 or 40 or 50K on them.
Yeah, that'll help you a lot.
A ton. Because now you can
get
I'll whatever
be honest
you need.
With you, I still struggle with credit limits to this day.
Really?
Yeah. Just constantly calling the bank trying to get a higher credit limit.
Yeah.
Because we'll burn through our credit.
Yeah.
In a very short period of time.
Yeah, just because and that's because you have to go and buy parts, you have to buy all the stuff.
Parts, marketing.
Yeah, sure.
All your expenses. Yeah. Everything I can goes on my credit card.
Yeah.
Right? That way, that's another little trick. Like, take the credit card, you're going to go to a job and you're going to quote the homeowner a price, and then you're going to have to go buy parts.
Right.
If you don't have any cash, what are you going to buy those parts with?
I don't know.
Credit card.
Yeah.
And then when you get paid from the homeowner, you're going to go pay off your credit card.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're getting points on your credit card that you can use for cash back.
Yeah.
Or if you're being very successful, you don't need the cash. You've got airline tickets. You got all the perks. Hotel rooms. Yep. You got rental cars, all that stuff. I haven't paid for airline ticket in 4 years.
Yeah, and
I haven't paid for an airplane ticket, a hotel, or a rental car in 4 years because of that.
And remember, credit cards aren't bad in and of themselves.
Nope, it's just how you use them.
Yeah, it's just people run into problems when they use them.
Yep. So don't be dumb.
Yeah, don't be dumb. It kind of comes back to that other point you said. It's like,
don't be stupid.
You didn't do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And that allowed you to build a good business.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so you killed your business partner.
Which is super smart, by the way.
You got your credit card. You buy your tools on your credit card, and you don't have a business partner, so it's not as scary, and you only had to buy one set of tools.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So
he disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
At this point, you have everything you need to be able to do the stuff.
You're on the run.
You have $10K in debt on your credit card. You have $0 left to your name because you spent your $1,000 on a down payment on a van.
Yeah, you're all in at this point.
You're all in at this point, and you got to get some work.
Being all in isn't necessarily bad either.
No. And really, all you need to do is get one decent-sized job, and you'll be able to pay your credit card off.
Yeah.
Now, or a bunch of little jobs.
Right.
So you can go do guerrilla marketing.
Well, we didn't even finish pricing.
Oh, pricing. Dang
it. Pricing.
We talk about pricing a lot.
It's okay. It's a good thing to talk
pricing.
About.
This is a tough one for people to understand. I'm shifting the way I think about this for the new guys. Mm-hmm. I think if you're just starting out, the easiest way to price. I'm gonna totally shoot myself in the foot here. We have a plumbing business playbook. I'm gonna change it.
In the playbook?
I think I am.
Oh man. You should write that down so you don't forget to change it.
I'm seriously thinking about it. I'm not going to do it before this episode, so they're going to have to keep watching, and we'll announce it when the new one comes out. But if you grab our playbook, if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description down below. If you're listening on whatever you're listening on, doesn't matter.
The radio.
You can hop on your phone or on your computer like a sane human being. and
go log in on your Compaq at your home, your desktop.
Yeah, go to your Mac and go to wealthyplumber.com/playbook. Enter in your email. We will send the playbook to your email. It's probably going to go in your spam or your junk.
Yeah, it will.
But it's a good playbook. It's literally 89 pages of everything you need to do to be successful in your plumbing business. All the stuff that nobody taught me when I started mine. All the stuff that even when I got a coach, they still didn't teach me, and I had to go learn it all.
Sure.
In there's a calculator that you can use, and there's a 45-minute video on how to use the calculator. If you're in business at all, that's a great calculator, okay? But for the one truck chuck guys, I think it gets a little confusing. So I have a new formula that I'm going to share with you right now.
Dude, this is hot off the press.
Hot off the press. That I think is a better way to go for the new guys. Because there's like when you're new in business, you're and we talk about the P&L and gross margins and all that stuff a lot. Yeah. When you're new in business, okay, brand new, you have like the guy we're talking about now, he's got a van payment. That's it. That's his overhead and a credit card payment.
Yep.
That's it.
Tiny overhead.
Tiny, right? So if he was to go take his expenses and figure out how much he needs to charge to cover his expenses, it would be super small.
Yeah, he'd be like, I can charge like $180. We're good to go.
It'd be super duper tiny. Yeah. So when we're looking at a P&L, we've got total revenue at the top. Then we take out our cost of goods sold, right? So that's our labor associated with the job, like technician labor, and our cost of materials. And we know that we need to maintain a bare minimum 50% gross margin.
Why do we know that?
Because we can go look at plumbing businesses that are successful around the United States, and they are running on a 55 to 60% gross margin.
Well, why does that mean that your business should run off of that?
Because your business is going to be the exact same as their business.
Okay, fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough.
So if you want to be successful, copy what the most successful people are doing, and then likely it'll work for you.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a way of running a successful plumbing business, and if you can keep your gross margin, which is just like the margin on your jobs, high enough, then you'll have enough money left over for overhead and profit. As long as you don't make stupid decisions and get overhead that does you no good. Right? So all the overhead we incur needs to either increase our revenue or drive some of that revenue down to the bottom line profit. If it doesn't do one of those two things, then don't do it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So knowing we need to run at a 60% gross profit, and then we can use that to price our jobs in the beginning. We can say, okay, I know if I want to be a successful business, they're going to hit these certain gross margins. So typically what you're seeing is people are shooting for 60% gross margins on install work. Okay. So any of your bigger ticket items, install work would be like repipes.
Right.
Even if you're going to do a remodel, water heaters, those kinds of things. Any service style work, pretty much anything under 2 hours, you're going to shoot for a 75% margin. Okay. So the easy way to do this is you figure out, okay, if I was going to get a plumber on staff, how much would I have to pay him to get a good plumber? If you're a plumber, you know how much you got to charge to get a good plumber. Like this is the only time I believe in going rate. What is the going rate for plumbers?
Who knows?
35? 40? What did you make when you were plumbing at your other job? Okay. Yeah. Let's just say 40 for quick math.
Okay.
Dude, I wish I had my calculator.
You got to do it longhand, man.
I'm going to, but I don't want to. Okay. So good thing I got this paper in front of me.
Well, you had a table you could write on.
Ooh, but good thing I got this pencil in my hand. Okay. So let's say going rate is 35. I would use 40.
Okay.
because I want the ability to...
Going rate for plumber's wage in your area.
Yes. I want the ability to be able to hire the best of the best.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got $40. Okay. This is going to confuse so many people who have gone through my hourly rate calculator, but that's okay.
They'll figure it out.
Okay. You're going to take that $40 and you're going to multiply it by 1.4.
How come?
Because typically benefits are going to be 40% of the total pay. So this adds on benefits before you ever have benefits.
Gotcha.
Okay. So what is that? What's 0.4 of 40?
0.4. Dude, that's on you, man.
That'd be 4 times 4.
16.
16. So now we're at $56. Okay.
You're just making numbers up now.
So total cost of your employee is really $56 an hour.
Yeah.
After you pay all the benefits and the taxes and all that stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to take that and we are going to mark it up for the margin that we want. Okay.
Gotcha.
So on install work, you're shooting for 60%. And on service work, you're shooting for 75%. So you're going to do 56. Dude, you might have to get your calculator out because I ain't doing this on this paper. 56 divided by 0.4. You always do the opposite.
56 divided by 0.4. 140?
140? Okay. So your labor rate for install would be 140. And then you would do 56 divided by 0.25.
224.
So your labor rate for service work would be 224. If you want my personal opinion, in the beginning, I would go at everything at 224.
Sure.
Okay, so you have your install at 140 and your service at 224. Now, here's the trick. For this to work, you have to mark up your materials exactly the same.
For both?
Actually, here's an easier way. Just use 56. Now, when you go to a job, you say, okay, let's just make up a fake job, like a water heater, for instance. And we'll price it out with this price here. And you know that your labor rate costs you $56 an hour, okay? Essentially what you're doing is you're going to take your COGS, your cost of goods sold, which is labor and materials, and you're going to mark it up to the appropriate markup to be able to maintain the margin you want to see on your gross margin on your P&L. So take 56. Let's do a water heater, for example.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this in the last podcast. Everybody thinks water heaters take 1 hour or 2 hours. They absolutely do not. They take probably closer to 5 hours all said and done. Okay. So you would take 5 hours times 56.
Could be anything, man.
It's 270?
I'll check you.
280.
Yeah. 280.
280. So that's $280. And materials on that are close to $1,000. So what is that total? That is $1,280. That's what it costs you to install that water heater.
Sure.
Okay. Now we're going to mark that up for the appropriate gross margin.
Gotcha.
So now do 1,280 divided by 0.25 for our 75% margin.
5,120.
$5,120. That is your price for your water heater.
Gotcha.
That is a very easy way for the new guy to price his business.
Gotcha.
With that price, he will be able to scale to any size.
With that, or with this pricing structure?
With this pricing structure.
Yeah.
Like doing water heaters at 5,120, he will be able to scale his business.
Yeah.
So you can price all of your jobs in this manner. All you have to know is your true labor rate, how many hours you have, do the math, add in the materials, divide by 0.25.
Yeah.
For a 75% margin. And the reason the difference between the margins between install and service is that you're more efficient on installs than you are on service.
Sure, yeah.
You just need to make up for that efficiency somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So then how is this a better way for the new guy than using the hourly rate calculator like it's been?
Because it's less confusing.
Seems confusing to me. How's it less confusing?
Because there's so much room for error in the hourly rate calculator, right?
You're projecting expenses we don't have yet.
Yeah, we have to say, okay, like for the hourly rate calculator to really be accurate, we have to say, we have to understand where to price our business at, right?
Yeah, to price it for which.
Here's the reason.
Point.
Let's just explain it real quick. If I have a certain level of overhead in my business, okay, and I have 10 technicians, okay, now all of that overhead has to be covered by those 10 technicians out in the field.
Yeah, sure.
If I add one more technician, my overhead goes up a teeny tiny little bit, but his ability to bill out,
is
all that
ability.
overhead is split up between 11 technicians now. Even the difference between like 5 techs and 8 techs, the difference in overhead isn't that much.
Mm-hmm.
But the overhead is split up by a lot more people out in the field, right?
Yep.
So you start to gain margin in your business.
Yeah, sure.
That's why there's like certain spots that are good to just sit in for a minute.
Yeah, because you have high margin.
Just collect cash before you move on to the next phase.
Yeah.
Right? And then you move on to the next phase. You have some what's called the valley of despair. You have some growth to do, and then you get to another safe spot, and you just chill there and collect cash.
Yeah,
right?
where essentially you gain more overhead, and then your technicians now have to cover the cost of more overhead.
Correct.
But then you hire more technicians because that's why you got that overhead, is so that you can
Correct.
accommodate more technicians. And now the extra technicians are now accommodating the same amount of overhead, therefore giving you more margin again.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And the dollar amounts get bigger and bigger every time.
Yes.
Margin stays the same. Dollar amounts get bigger.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Correct. So for, and typically that's like our first valley of despair is at 3 trucks because the owner has to pull out of the field.
Yeah. And then suddenly the owner leaves.
He's no longer a revenue producing employee.
Yeah. He leaves the cogs and turns into overhead.
So when we fill out the calculator, if we were to fill it out just with current expenses with this guy who's got a truck payment, his hourly rate calculator would be way too low.
Yeah, because it would be like $120 or something.
It'd be super low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if that.
It'd be tiny.
Yeah.
Right. Even if we put in his wage at a 120, it'd probably only be $160.
Yeah. And so then what's gonna be the problem he's gonna run into?
So he's gonna hire a guy keep charging $160, and then he's not gonna make any money. That guy is not gonna make him any money.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna have another van payment. He's going to have a different phone system.
Yeah.
He's going to have more tools to buy. He's going to have inefficiencies to cover. All this stuff, right?
Even if that guy goes in and adjusts that hourly rate calculator for that second guy and the overhead he brings?
He can, right? But then he'll still be undercharging. And so rather than slowly climbing prices as you grow your business, why not just start at the top?
Yeah.
Why not just start charging what everybody else is charging?
Yeah.
Why sell yourself short on all these jobs until you get to that point?
Gotcha.
And a lot of people will argue its value. I can't bring the value that these big shops bring.
They will say that.
But I would argue that you can bring a value that they can't bring. You're a one-man local plumbing shop.
You're honestly a top tier selling technician because you're the business owner. Like you left to start this thing on your own, knowing that you had the skills to do it.
Yeah, you're honestly probably a better technician than all of the technicians that work at that big shop, or the majority of them.
And you're more motivated to do a good job because you have more to lose. Like there's so many things that bring your particular situation high level of value.
Yeah, and you just care about the customer more.
Yeah, because again, you're in it to win it at this stage.
You're no longer an employee; you're an owner.
Yeah, and this is all you've got. So you have a lot of motivation to be super good at what you do.
Correct.
And so it'd be really dumb to charge $120 an hour just because, I don't have like a big shop.
Correct.
Yeah.
100%. Okay. So that's a pretty easy way to do pricing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, what would I pay a plumber? I'm going to add a little bit to that, multiply it by 1.4 to cover, taxes and not just employer taxes that you're going to pay on a paycheck. And benefits. And then I'm going to divide that by, then I'm going to use that number to figure all my jobs.
Gotcha.
Take my labor rate times my labor, my materials, add them to my labor cost. So I know my COGS, it's going to cost me this much, and I'm going to divide it by 0.25.
Yeah. And so you could run this pricing structure through your whole business, no matter how big your overhead got.
You can. And I've always been on the fence about this. Always. And this makes sense in the very beginning. And it's starting to make sense more for me now, the bigger I've gotten.
Sure.
Because I'm at a point where it's hard to figure out those points. Like where are those valleys of despair? And what exactly am I going to have to do to, when I get there? I don't know yet. When you have 3 guys, I got to pull out of the truck. I need to account for that in my pricing. That's a little easier. So I like this because it puts you at the right price.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at in business.
Yeah.
No matter what stage you're in.
Yeah.
It sets you up at the right price. What I don't like about this is in order to budget using this method, as far as I can tell, I need to look at my P&L.
Yeah.
So which is fine. Like I can look at my P&L and use that to budget, and I can make budgeting decisions that way. For somebody new in business, right? When they're getting truck number 2 and truck number 3, how do they know how much they can spend on marketing? How do they know how much they can spend on these things, right?
How do they know they're actually going to make enough money to cover that cost?
Correct.
Without maybe even having the money in their bank account right now.
Correct. So that's what I like the hourly rate calculator for, is it's really a budgeting tool.
Yeah. And and it's giving you insight onto when you add expenses, what does that do to the customer? Like how much do you have to charge the customer when you add certain levels of expenses?
Correct.
And it's really eye-opening because you'll find that you'll add what you consider a really large expense, like another technician or another van payment, and then you'll see the price to the customer go up not that much relative to the expense you just incurred.
Or you're currently charging more than you need to.
Yeah.
Because you were thinking ahead and saying, well, I'm going to have this much overhead at this point. I'm going to have to charge this much.
Yeah.
So why not charge it now? And you have room in your budget to be able to go spend on marketing.
Yeah, sure.
And you can see that on the calculator.
Yeah.
And you can say, if I spend this much, I go over.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I like that. That helped me out a lot growing my business.
This way you will still you'll still be charging. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you'll still be charging those same prices as if you were however much you need to charge it per hour.
Correct.
With the other system.
So when I do this for my business both ways, I come up with the same price.
Yeah. Okay.
At the end of the day. So whether I'm using my hourly rate calculator, marking up my parts 120% and pricing my jobs that way, or I price it this way, it's the same price.
One advantage I can see with this is it gets the plumbing business owner off of an hourly rate system.
Correct.
So then in their head, they're not thinking, oh my gosh, I'm $1 million per hour. Then nobody's going to do this.
You're taking your labor costs, your material costs, and you're marking them up to hit the gross margins that you need to hit to be successful.
Yeah. And so it's like it takes the whole what I need to charge per hour out of the conversation.
Correct.
So then there isn't this mindset issue of like, I can't charge $500 per hour flat rate. That's insane.
Correct.
Like it's
just a different way of thinking about it.
Yeah, it is a different way of thinking about it, but you end up at the same result.
Correct.
Okay.
Correctamundo. The other thing I don't like about this is like if you get our calculator on the bottom, it'll tell you how many hours you need to sell.
Yeah.
That's a very valuable tool and metric.
Yes.
Do you need the calculator to tell you that? No. You could just add up your expenses and say, I need to, and I'm billing at this much. See, you can't really do that this way.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah.
That's a metric I really like knowing because today.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, I'm profitable.
It is a really good metric to know. And you can also tell like when you hire another technician and you incur especially when you hire another technician, you're going to think, well, how many hours does this guy actually need to sell per day in addition to what I'm doing to make this allow me to pay him.
Correct.
And then you're like, oh, we just have to together sell this many hours.
One more hour.
That's really not as many as I thought.
Yeah, typically to go from 3 trucks to 4 trucks, it's 1 more hour. that you have to sell every day.
Yeah, which means that guy you just brought on
doesn't have to be that busy.
Yeah, which is really comforting because if you're thinking like, man, like I am busy, like I'm pretty busy and I think I could get a guy, but I don't want to like lose money because I'm not like extremely busy. That knowledge could then push you over the edge, be like, oh no, I would actually make money doing this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we know how to price.
Okay.
You killed your business owner, you know how to price.
Dude. Yeah. You killed your business owner, absorbed his essence. Okay. Learned how to price.
Now you're priced right, which means the reason you got to be priced right is so you can be profitable.
Yeah, because
so you can grow, make money, and be profitable.
Remember, if you started your business for anything else except to be profitable, I don't think it's going to work out for you.
No, you should just quit now.
Yeah, like if you started your business because your last boss was super mean to you and you didn't like that, and now you want to go be your own boss,
just go find a better boss.
Yeah, because
if you started your business because you want freedom, great. Freedom comes from being profitable.
Right.
I can tell you right now, if you're not profitable, you are going to lose
you are not going to be free,
more freedom.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Than just working for somebody else.
Yep.
So just go work for somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, to a lot of people, $5,120 for a water heater is going to sound insane. But I'm telling you right now, that's what you got to charge to be profitable. If it's 5 hours and you're paying your guys $40 an hour and it's $1,000 in materials, that's what you got to charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hands down. And the reason people fail at plumbing is because of that right there.
Yeah, because they just don't make enough money.
That is reason number one.
And again, like because if you're not making enough money, you can't get the things that you need to actually get yourself out of the position you're in.
Correct. And people will pay that all day long.
Yeah.
For a water heater.
Yeah, there's so many examples.
Every day.
That and whatever that,
1,000 times over.
Even in really expensive markets where everything is way more expensive.
Especially in expensive markets. Like I don't, I thought it would be harder because we're not in a fancy market. I'm not in a market where people want high-end stuff. If anything, it's exactly the opposite. People fix their own stuff. They go for the mediocre thing. Right. And we charge good money all day long and have customers calling us left and right. I would like to say we get the majority of the calls in Fairbanks. I just looked at my Google ads. We get 37% of the jobs through Google ads.
Wow.
Out of everybody competing in Fairbanks, we get 37%. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we know how to kill the business owner. Kill the business partner.
Kill the business partner.
We got our MVP. We know how to price our jobs. Now we just need to get some jobs. Yeah.
Now's the hard part.
Yeah. The part where guys always get stuck. Well, after pricing.
In this instance, we don't have any money. Like we're out of money at this point.
Yeah, we can't like go hire a marketing agency, do any cool stuff.
Good news is we're priced right. So when we do get a job, we're going to make some buco bucks.
Yeah.
And your overhead is pretty much non-existent.
Yeah, so you're going to keep a lot of it.
So you're going to get to keep a lot of it, which means you're going to have money that you can reinvest in your business.
Yeah. Okay? Not buying fancy cool stuff.
No. If you undercharge, you're just going to make enough to pay yourself, and that's it. And you'll never be able to grow.
Every time you try, it's gonna fail.
It's gonna suck more cash than you have.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So ideally, if you had money, you would go hire a marketing company at this point. But we don't have money, so we're not going to do that. And either way, whether you had money and you hired a marketing company or you don't have money, you're going to do these next few things. Okay. Well, actually, I take that back. If you didn't hire a marketing company, like first thing you're going to want to do is go start your Google My Business profile. And they call it something else now. It's like GBP, Google Profile Business or Google something. I don't know. They changed the name of it. I don't know what it is. But if you just go to YouTube and search how to get a Google My Business profile for a home service company, there will be a video of somebody walking you through that. So go do it.
Do you think there's videos on like how to optimize it too? Make sure it's
probably.
Like,
probably.
I know we've talked about it before.
Well, let's just talk about it now. I mean, go get a Google My Business profile. Take a picture of, or have your friend or your wife or somebody take a picture of you smiling with either a nice neighborhood behind you or your van behind you or something.
Yeah.
Right. And put that as your cover photo.
Yeah. Don't put you like in a hole in a yard.
Yeah.
Like a thumbs up.
Yeah. And then put your business hours. Put the message button on there. Put your phone number in there so they can call you. And then go add products in there. So go add products on what you do. Go on Canva. Get Canva and make images for all your products.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know how to use Canva, go to YouTube.
Yeah.
And YouTube how to use Canva so you can learn. If you don't know how to put products on your GMB, go to YouTube.
Yeah.
How do I put products on my GMB? All that stuff matters. And then, let's see, once you have that done, you need to get a description in your GMB as well. So I would write a description for my company, and I would make sure that same exact description is used everywhere. And so you can write a quick description for your company, and I would encourage you to put things in there that make your customers want to call you. So if you go look at your competitors' reviews, I made a video about this and got a lot of flack for it because I don't know what people are thinking. So the idea is, let's go look at a plumbing company and let's look at their reviews and let's look at their 1-star reviews and then let's look at their 5-star reviews.
Right.
And the idea is any 1-star review, right, that is not about price. It's usually like they didn't answer their phone.
Right.
They never got back to me. They came out and quoted this thing, but now I can't get a hold of them.
Right.
They did terrible work. They came back 10 times and it still isn't fixed. They didn't show up on time. The plumber was super dirty and unprofessional. Those are all 1-star reviews that your competitors got.
Yeah.
They're telling you something about your customers.
Yeah. It's
right?
important, dude. It's so important to understand your customer.
Super important.
Like any business that, like when we think about like even our coaching program, it's really important for us to understand who our customer is.
Yeah. And where they're coming from and what they're thinking.
Yes.
And what they need help with
and
what they want.
Yeah. And don't assume that you are your customer.
No, you're not.
Because you're not. You're a plumber. You would never hire you.
Yeah.
You would just do the work.
Your customer is, your customer is mom with kids trying to go about her day and raise her kids.
Yeah.
And now she's got a plumbing problem.
Yeah.
And husband's off at work.
Yeah.
And she's got to call the plumber.
Yeah.
That's your customer. And so when you go look at these reviews, right, you're getting a glimpse into their mind.
Yeah. It's like market research.
Yeah. And what you can do is you can talk about how your company does those things well, right? So when somebody in the 1-star review says they never answer their phone, in your review, just write so-and-so plumbing company. We always answer our phones.
Or in your description or your bio or whatever.
Same day service. Clean, friendly technicians. Professional service. We fix it right the first time.
What was the flack that you got for doing this?
They were like, if they left another plumbing company a 1-star review, I don't want them as my customer. That was the flack.
You're like, you're missing the point.
You missed the concept.
Yeah, you're not trying to get the 1-star customers.
You're not trying to, well, you are. Like those customers probably just wanted a really good service and they would have paid really good money for it.
Yeah, because the customers were not complaining about price. They were just complaining about something.
They were complaining about bad service.
Yeah.
And so, I want those customers that want good service because I want to give it to them.
Yeah.
I don't want to charge them a lot of money for it. And they'll pay it. And they'll be happy to pay it. So you can include that stuff in your bio. If it were me, I would figure out like how many words I can have in that bio. And I would write one up real quick that had all the stuff I wanted in it. I would go to ChatGPT and I would say, rewrite this for a Google My Business bio, limit it to this many words.
Yeah.
Click, and then you'll get a nicely professional written bio that you can put there. Dunzo. The next thing I'm probably going to go do is I'm going to go, now that I have my GMB profile, you're going to have to get verified. Sometimes it can be a process. A lot of guys are having a hard time getting it done from their home.
Yeah.
Because you got to use, if you don't have a place of business, you got to use your home address. Best thing you can do is like get some sort of a sign or something on your door, because Google wants to see like the street. They want to see the door. You have to send them a video, yada, yada. Just go at it until you get it.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yep.
Get verified.
Yep.
Then people can see your GMB and you can start collecting reviews.
Yeah.
Which is going to be
which is huge.
Next thing I would do is I would go on GLSA, Google Local Service Ads, and I would go through the process of getting verified there.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do a background check. They're going to check your licensing, and then you're going to be able to pay for leads on Google Local Service Ads. The second you get access to that, you're going to want to do the exact same thing you did on your GMB. You're going to want to go edit your business hours, your services, your bio. You're going to want to add photos, all that good stuff. Don't add photos of your work. Add photos of professional looking you.
Yeah.
And how to make the customer feel comfortable. Add photos of your family or you with a dog or whatever, right? And then set that thing to max out the budget.
For your GLSA.
Yeah, see what you can get out of it. Don't be scared. Max it out. That'll help you get a little bit of work. So I would do that. If I hired a marketing company, I would expect them to do a lot of that. But I would make sure they're doing that stuff.
What if when you hire a marketing company, what if their like pitch is like, hey man, we're going to set these up, but we own all these things?
I would get a different marketing company.
Okay.
Hands down.
Okay. Cause you want to own all these things.
Heck yeah. You want to have access to them so you can see what's going on.
Sure. Because
you need to understand how these things work.
Yeah, sure.
You need to understand the nuts and bolts behind what's going on, because it's not that complicated.
Right.
It is very complicated. Like too complicated for you to try to learn to do well.
Right. Like as a career.
Yeah, but not complicated enough to understand what's going on and make good decisions based on the data inside these platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you killed your business partner. You're set. You got your GMB, you got your GLSA, you can go do work. People can find you on the internet now, right? So now if they search your company name, you're showing up on the internet.
Should I make time like building my own website?
No.
Okay.
Hire that out.
Okay.
You don't have any money, so don't even worry about that.
Yeah, I don't have any money. I couldn't even do it.
Let's go get some work.
Okay.
So that alone might get you some work. Without any reviews on your GMB,
sure,
you're probably going to get cheaper customers. So just be where it's going to happen for a minute.
Yeah.
You'll have to weed through some cheap ones to get some good ones. From there, I would go get on Facebook. I would get on my personal Facebook account. And this is exactly what I did. I added as many friends as Facebook would allow me to every single day. And then I would post on my personal page that I started a plumbing company. It's called this. You can reach me here if you need any plumbing or heating needs.
Oh, and you do that just every day?
I did it like 4 times a week.
Okay, gotcha.
And I would have my mom and my brother and my aunts and uncles and everybody and their mother share it. And that got me that booked my first 2 months of work. Got me going. Paid off my credit cards month 1. So for me, I spent $9,000 on my credit card.
Gotcha.
And then I was able to pay off that $9,000 and pay myself month 1.
Gotcha.
It was cool. So yeah, you could easily do that. To make that even cooler, I would go, pretty much every neighborhood has a Facebook group, or every town, right? I would go get in those neighborhood and town Facebook groups if I could. Are you in the Facebook group for our neighborhood?
No, but Ayla is.
How do you get in it? Do you have to tell them your address?
I have no idea. Yeah, because I know where you're getting at, because you're trying to figure out if you can get into these neighborhoods without being a resident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I would look up zip code Facebook groups. I would look up neighborhood Facebook groups, and I would definitely look up like city and town, county Facebook groups.
Yeah.
And I would get in them. And then just start popping your head in there. When somebody says, hey, I need a plumber, recommend yourself.
Yeah, what about like posting like useful plumbing content?
Post useful plumbing content. Say, hey guys, I own a plumbing business. I've been going to a lot of houses. Here's what I'm seeing wrong. If you have this in your house, here's your fix. If you don't want to fix it, feel free to give me a call. Here's my number.
Yeah.
Call or text me anytime. You will get work that way. You are the friendly neighborhood plumber.
It seems to me that like at this stage of the business, everybody knows like the things they need to do, but there's a reluctance to actually do them.
They're scared to be, it's like the best known beats the best every time, right? So the real game is like, how do I become known?
Yeah.
And so you've got like the Grant Cardones of the world. They're 10xing their output.
Right.
They're putting out as much content as they can.
Yeah, or they're hanging out as many flyers as they possibly can. They're doing all these things.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to get in your face.
True.
And they're not afraid to put stuff out there. With plumbing business owners, they're afraid to make a brand that stands out. They're afraid to like post too much.
Yeah.
They're afraid of like being too pushy. And the reality is you're not being pushy enough.
Right.
And your fear of being out there isn't working out for you. So I would always err on the side of pushing too hard.
Right.
Because even if you piss somebody off, they still know who you are.
Right.
And if they're the kind of person that I saw your ad too much and now I'm not going to hire you because you pissed me off.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with you anyway.
Yeah, probably not your customer.
Yeah. But the customer who didn't get pissed off, they know who you are now because they saw your ad 1,000 times, right?
Yeah, and I mean, enough companies don't do this. Like, I'm just thinking about locally in this area.
Oh, yeah.
So the only air company I know here is Extreme, and that's because I've seen their truck wraps.
Extreme, do they do septic stuff?
They do, because they have a septic truck that drives around too. So they do like septic and air.
Yep.
They're the only ones I know other than like Peden.
Peden?
So those are probably the two I know, but I have not seen either of them active on my social media.
No.
Like I haven't gotten one ad served through Instagram. I haven't gotten one ad served through anything.
Nope.
Which blows my mind.
Dude, I think the competition is slim to none.
Yeah, really slim to none. Yeah. But the thing is I know those brands only because I've seen their truck wraps.
Correct.
So just imagine if I saw a different brand or even that brand of social media that was consistently appearing in.
I've seen Peden's social media.
Really?
It's terrible.
I haven't seen one. Yeah, most of it is.
It's horrible.
Yeah, don't be afraid to disrupt the market with your social media.
No, yeah. Like the whole name of the game is getting attention.
Yes.
So don't be super lame and just like everybody else. Don't blend into the crowd and put out dumb crap that nobody cares about.
Like when you're in Canva, because you will be, and there's templates in Canva, and you can probably type in plumbing business template, and you'll see the exact same stuff that marketing companies try to put on your Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a really lame infograph with like...
That only your mom liked.
Yeah. Yes, your mom. And she religiously likes every single one.
There's one like, it's your mom every time.
Every time.
Or your
without
grandma.
fail. Yeah, without fail.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not going to like... That is not going to be a great brand exercise for you.
No. Nope. And that's the stuff plumbers are afraid to do.
Yeah.
I watched, I was telling you this earlier, but I watched a YouTube video about a guy who grew he had hand, like balm. I don't know if it was hand balm or lip balm, but I think it was like balm for your hands and toothpaste. And he started the business out of his van. He made the balm and the toothpaste out of his van and scaled it to a $5 million a year company by using memes to market his product. So every day he would go on the internet, Instagram, I think is what he said, and he would just look for like new trending memes and then repurpose them for his toothpaste or his balm and post them and put money behind them. And that's how he would sell his stuff. Grew to $5 million in like a year. Yeah. Just by using memes.
Yeah, just by getting attention.
Just by grabbing attention. That's it.
Like, I mean, like, and again, back to like I'm probably going to get my system looked at here soon. And I only know of one company.
Yeah.
Because they're the one I've seen.
Yeah.
If I would have seen other companies, I would have had options. I'm not going to search. I'm literally not going to search anybody near me. I'm not going to search air companies near me. I'm just going to call the guy that I've seen.
Here's an example. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock if you would have woke up the next day and made a Will Smith slapping Chris Rock meme for your plumbing business,
oh yeah,
it would have done.
It would have crushed.
It would have crushed.
Oh man, it would have crushed. So
killed.
Good. Yeah.
Right. And you would have attracted so many people to your business.
Yep.
And the thing is, there's probably people listening to this going, "Oh, that's so unprofessional."
Yeah.
It's like, guys, it's social media. Like the whole thing is unprofessional.
Yeah.
And then number two, any of the customers who were like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not going to use this company. They're so unprofessional." What kind of customer is that?
Yeah, that is a customer that's not even going to be fun to work with.
That's the Karens of the world that
Yeah,
you're going to go to their house and they're going to just complain,
yeah,
and then call you back and demand your money back, and then go on Facebook and badmouth you.
Yeah.
You don't want those customers.
And I mean, think about it. Like when you guys are in a customer's house, I know y'all be telling jokes. I know y'all be making that customer laugh and feel good.
No.
Right? Yeah, but like none of you walk in there and are completely like, "Hello, I'm the professional plumber.
Hello,
I do not smile. I do not joke. I do not have any rapport building skills. I'm here to fix."
Some people
sell.
probably do.
Yeah, and they probably don't sell very well.
Yeah.
They probably don't make a lot of money.
No.
But like you make a customer feel good by making them laugh and feeling comfortable and like identifying with you in that way. And that's when you put a funny meme out. They're like, "You know what? That was a really funny meme.
These guys are funny.
These guys, I kind of like
I'm going to go check out their page."
Or they're like, memes are annoying, but they're going to remember.
Correct.
And when they see it over and over again, eventually they're going to be like, "Man, who's a company that I can look? I'm going to try them first because it's the easiest thing for me to do."
Correct.
It's way easier to just type in extreme air rather than HVAC near me or whatever.
Correct. We kind of got off topic here.
What? We never do that. We're super on topic.
So you killed your business partner.
Yes, excellent.
You're posting on Facebook. You're getting work from Facebook. Some other things you can do. You can go join the B&I groups.
Yep.
You can go join Chamber of Commerce. You can just go introduce yourself to other business owners. Get out in the community. Say hello.
Yeah.
It's going to go a long ways.
It seems like being active in your free time, trying to get work, is what you need to be doing.
So I talked about this today. It's really easy, like when you start a business, there's 10 million things that need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And if you know what needs to be done a year from now, you just want to get it done. But one of the best, so it's hard to like figure out, okay, I have all this stuff I need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll just start working on all sorts of junk.
And you'll half finish this, you'll start this, stop that.
Yeah. One of the best things you can do is to say, okay, what do I need right now?
Mm-hmm.
I need work. I'm going to laser focus on getting work until that's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, because you know you're going to make money on work because your price good. So
yeah. And then once you're getting work, then you're like, okay, well, now what's my problem? And then laser focus on the next problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just continue to do that over and over and over again, and you're consistent at showing up, doing the right stuff, putting the pieces in play, you'll make it.
Yep.
Hands down. 100%. Every time. As long as you don't do stupid stuff.
Yeah, don't do stupid stuff.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Business is hard.
Yep.
Okay. We have a coaching program to make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
That we rarely talk about on this podcast. Maybe we talk about it. I don't even know.
We probably bring it up in passing when it makes sense.
Maybe. So the thing is like, you can get help with this stuff. If you download our playbook, there's a link at the end where you can go book a call with our team, or you can go to wealthyplumber.com/book. You can book a call with our team. And you just have a quick phone call about our thing. If you want to know more, you can hop on a Zoom call with one of our guys and we'll talk about it. And then if you want to join and get help, it's there for you. Mm-hmm. It's super awesome. We got a bunch of dudes in there doing really good, doing all the right stuff. Mm-hmm. They're going to all be millionaires. It's going to be rad.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's hard to do this stuff if you don't know what you're doing.
Correct. It's hard to laser focus on the thing if you don't know what the thing is.
Yeah, especially if like you don't have a group around you saying, "Yeah, man, that is the right thing." I know it doesn't make sense for you to go and do that right now in your brain, but trust us.
Okay, you want to know what happens? You go into business for yourself thinking, "Cool, I'm going to make all this money and I'm going to have so much freedom." And then none of that happens, mainly because you don't know what you're doing. And then business is hard. And then we just go make it even harder.
Yeah.
We're like, cool, this is hard. I'm going to make it harder.
I'm going to make this way more complex than it needs to be, or I'm going to hire some random company that I got served an ad that seems rad. And
and it's because you don't know the simple method to you don't know all the pros and cons of everything.
No, well, because you don't, and you also don't really have a sounding board. Like, you don't have somebody to offer perspective.
Right.
And perspective comes in either just guidance. Oh, you're missing this. You should do this. Or in somebody just saying, yeah, man, you are too cheap. And you're like, I always thought that. Like, I know. Dude. Here I am telling you that you were right.
Yeah.
I know I was right. I just didn't have the ... I don't know. And then you're like, so do the thing. I'm like, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Now I can go home and feel good about this decision because somebody who's done this told me that I'm actually thinking about this properly. I just actually have to go do it now.
Yeah. Confidence.
There's tons of ways that just having people help you is a make or break it thing.
Yep. And if you don't want to do that, just keep watching this podcast.
Yeah.
Because we spill a lot of the beans here.
Yeah, we really try not to, We're trying to hold the secrets close to our chest, but
Okay, let's keep talking about this guy here because if at this point, he needs to be focused on stacking cash away so that he can go hire a marketing company.
Yeah, because all the marketing he's doing right now is sucking up his time.
Yep.
And eventually his time is going to be a limiting constraint.
Yep.
That he's going to want to just have available to do jobs.
Yep. You only have so much time. Mm-hmm. And if you're constantly having to market with your time to get jobs, you won't have enough time to do the jobs.
Yep.
And then you'll go do jobs, but then you won't have jobs when you're done, and you're going to have to go back to marketing.
Yep.
So you need to get your online presence going and hire a marketing company.
Yep.
Hire a marketing company. You're going to own your stuff. They have a history of success with plumbers, and they're going to do a decent job for you. After that, right, then the name of the game is still, let's stack some cash.
Yeah.
Let's use this opportunity. I got jobs coming in. I'm priced right. I'm going to stack cash, and I'm going to learn the best way to run a service call. What's my preferred method for running a service call?
Yep.
To where I get the most amount of money and I maximize my 5-star reviews. And there's stuff you can do. We'll talk about that in a different podcast. That way, at that point, you're getting tons of phone calls, you're working really hard, you're stacking cash, then you go hire a CSR.
Yeah, sure.
Get somebody answering the phones for you. Because at some point, you're going to be so busy working that you're going to miss answering your phone, which means you're missing opportunities. And if you're missing opportunities, you're losing cash.
Especially if you're paying for these calls.
Especially if you're paying.
They're slipping through.
Yep. And once you're grabbing all the calls you can, and you've perfected that system, and you've got too many calls consistently, then it's time to hire somebody. And then you just keep going.
Yep.
And then it's just a matter of getting these guys to do the system that you've been doing out in the field.
That you understand well, so it's systematized and you can
systematized.
Systematized.
Talking about murdering business partners.
What are you talking about? I ain't see no business partners in here. I just see me. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. Yeah, that's exactly what you're gonna do. And you can make millions of dollars just doing the stuff we just talked about today.
Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Jeez, cool, man. See you next time.